कहते हैं जो व्यक्ति खुद के हक के लिए आवाज नहीं उठा सकता उसे समाज में कहीं भी रिस्पेक्ट नहीं मिलती। फिर आईसीएआई कैसे अपने ही मेंबर्स की अनदेखी करके अपने सीए डे वीक को सेलिब्रेट कर रही है। एक तरफ जहां आईसीएआई के मेंबर्स जेल में बंद हैं, वहीं आईसीएआई अपने सीए फाउंडेशन डे को सेलिब्रेट कर रही है। योगा कैंप, क्रिकेट मैचेस या फिर प्लांटेशन, ये समाज के लिए ज़रूरी है, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ ही ज़रूरी है अपने मेंबर्स की रेस्पेक्ट की रक्षा करना। नमस्कार दोस्तों, मैं आपका दोस्त हरीश गौड़ और आप देख रहे हैं द इंडियन पल्स। इंडियन पल्स में आज हम बात कर रहे हैं क्राइसिस इन लीडरशिप इन आईसीएआई। आपको 10 साल पुराने एक सीएनबीसी के इंटरव्यू की बाइट दिखा देते हैं, जिसमें उत्तम प्रकाश अग्रवाल गुस्से में उस इंटरव्यू को छोड़कर चले गए। लेकिन उस इंटरव्यू में जो बैठे हुए हैं पास्ट प्रेसिडेंट 2007-8 के सुनील तलाटी जी बैठे हुए हैं और उनसे कुछ सवाल पूछे गए इसी मुद्दे पर, जो लीडरशिप क्राइसिस है इसको लेकर। तो क्या जवाब उन्होंने दिए, आपको सबसे पहले वो दिखा देते हैं।
Constantly lowering standards of the institute, booth capturing. I'm told in this council election, sums of all the way up to 1 crore rupees were spent by some candidates, in election canvassing or campaigning. What is this? Is this a crisis of leadership? Is the system become so political that we need to reinvent the system of appointing these council members? What's going wrong?
I would put it's a mixed bag. And as rightly said, these are aberrations. Either you take it Satyam or you take the last incidents of alleged booth capturing. Satyam, for that matter, is not at all institute or any fraternity of chartered accountants to be blamed. It's a total failure of corporate governance, and
Sure.
nobody's answering that.
All right. The ability to redress the Satyam situation, I'm going to come to that.
We have immediately taken action on that member. That member is removed from all the committees. Disciplinary proceedings have started. There is a system which we have to follow. That is going on, and let not only media, the whole fraternity or the citizens of India know strictest of the strict possible actions will be taken on the erring member.
Mr. Talati, I'm going to stop you there. I went through the annual report. There are almost 3 pages devoted to the yoga camp and the orientation program held between the 13th and 16th of this year, and 1 small paragraph devoted to Satyam. I mean, if this is the importance in your annual report of what is one of the biggest incidents of fraud in corporate India and the way ICAI is dealing with it, then it's a very sorry way of redressing this system.
I very much appreciate. That's what President's prerogative. And that's what you initially mentioned. One particular leader or leadership may behave or may act on a particular way, but see the leadership for last so many years.
So are you saying it's a crisis of leadership in this specific instance? It is not a systemic issue.
I would say it's joint and several responsibility of the entire council.
Okay, I have a set of questions I was going to put to the president of the council, that is Uttam Prakash Agarwal, but since he has angrily stormed off this discussion, I'm going to praise these issues in front of both of you to get your responses. I have spoken to chartered accountants over the course of the last 3 days, ever since I heard of the booth capturing, and the allegations I hear against the president range from trivial to absurd to very serious. For instance, he asked for the president's photograph to be put up in every branch chairman and regional council chairman's office. I mean, this was put out by a circular. During the term, there was gundagardi, I'm told, in the ICAI premises. Some woman had a problem with some gentleman in the premises. There were goons brought in from the outside. He actually made public comments in a media interview about ICICI's bank audit regarding certain mortgage situations. That was thereafter had to be retracted, in some sense. A dissenting note that came out from the ICAI against Nakas's decision on forex accounting. That was a serious dissenting note, because all of corporate India was confused as to why ICAI was taking a contrasting position to what Nakas had put out. I'm told that the vice president and the president are so much at loggerheads that they don't talk to each other anymore. I mean, trivial, but absurd, just evidence of the politics that has entered this institute. I'm also told that lakhs of rupees were spent in this jubilee year on a yoga camp, as I pointed out, on a cricket match, and like I pointed out, all we know of the Satyam report is that it has yet to reach fruition. There is 1 small paragraph.
Let me clarify very clearly. The issues of spending lakhs of rupees or billions of rupees is one issue. Let us not go of a family disputes that arises within the family. But as you rightly pointed out, question is of good governance. And what is good governance? We have the healthiest of the tradition that council on the first day gives majority of the powers to the president. And in good faith, these resolutions are passed and powers are vested with the president. Now, if one or more presidents are not coming up to the expectations of the fraternity or up to the council. You would be right in citing so many instances, but that's all in this year 2009. We are here to correct all those.
You're saying these problems are only pertinent to this year 2009. This loss of quality has only happened this year?
I wouldn't put it loss of quality. It's a different approach, different attitude, different
declining
working
standards.
style.
Mr. Rathi, a member of your fraternity sitting right here, says declining standards.
That's the main point, and I would certainly agree that yes, highest ethical standard must be followed by every single chartered
Is it being followed, Mr. Talati?
And I'm really sorry to say, I'm not admitting, but I'm saying yes, it is not being followed the way public perception is there.
All right, I'm going to bring in one more question here about government nominees. There are 8 government nominees on the council. They're meant to be there for oversight. The stories are here, and I haven't been able to get the records from ICAIs. They barely even attend meetings. When they do, they hardly attend for 15, 20 minutes. They're too busy with their own jobs to be able to pay attention. Unfortunately, Mr. O.P. Wesh walked away because of Mr. Agarwal's, angry outburst. But when he was telling me on the phone, he admitted that this was a problem, that we are not getting the participation that we need from government nominees, and therefore there is no oversight. Would you agree with that?
You are.
तो कहीं ना कहीं इंस्टीट्यूट में ये कमी नजर आती रही है। सीसी मेंबर्स पर ये आरोप लगते रहे हैं कि वो अपने मेंबर्स को सही ढंग से रिप्रेजेंट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं बिफोर द गवर्नमेंट, बिफोर द रेवेन्यू डिपार्टमेंट्स। और इसी कमजोरी के कारण आज चाहे जीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट हो या फिर इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट या फिर गवर्नमेंट या फिर मीडिया, सभी चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट को सॉफ्ट टारगेट की तरह देख रहे हैं। तो कहीं ना कहीं ये एक ड्यूटी बन जाती है इंस्टीट्यूट की कि वो उस सेंट्रल प्लेटफॉर्म से खड़े होकर के अपने मेंबर्स को सही ढंग से रिप्रेजेंट करें। अगर आपको हमारी ये वीडियो पसंद आई तो शेयर कीजिए, लाइक कीजिए, चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए। हम आपके लिए ऐसे ही कुछ और वीडियो लेकर आते रहेंगे। थैंक यू वेरी मच।